Hey guys, we're back with another episode of Taco Imposters for what's the date today? April 18th, 2024. Let me turn up the volume on this so I can hear myself. Sorry. Hello? 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 Okay, it's working now. Good. So, I don't know what to talk about, but I was trying to figure out just before I started, I was trying to figure out how to get a mono recording out of a what's it called microphone. No, sorry, a stereo recording out of a mono microphone. So I got it. Also, I set it to monitor, and I just had to turn it off because holy crow, there was just such a slight delay that it drove me nuts. I'm like, no, I'm sorry, I cannot monitor it. It was like giving me a speech jamming effect. I'm like, no, stop. This is ridiculous. I can't deal with this, which is fine, but I cannot deal with it. It's like ridiculously bad. Oh man, it was awful. So bad. So yeah, I don't know what to talk about, but we're going to figure something out. But yeah. So yeah, I don't know what to talk about. I was just watching a bunch of old live streams that Adam Savage was doing for MythBusters, right? And is there a recording level that I can turn up or something? No, I probably can't. No, I don't think I can. But whatever. Options. Let's see. Nah, forget it. So yeah, I was just like, hello. Yeah, so I was watching a bunch of like episodes of not episodes, but like I was listening to a bunch of or watching a bunch of things for MythBusters, right? He's like, talking about MythBusters, and Adam Savage is reviewing. Is what do you call it? He's answering questions from MythBusters, right? About MythBusters on live streams, and yeah, and he's like talking about some of the some of the what's it called? Some of the myths he just didn't like to do, and he talked about one where it was like, well, he talked about these like in other different live streams, but he talked about like the woo woo myth where it's like woo. How does it work? Woo, right? Where just you cannot explain it, but just woo woo. And he said that they're stupid. So there were two that he did. Was one what made sense why it was stupid. It was what's it called? It was fudge. It was do pretty girls fart, and it's like, well, of course, pretty girls fart. What are you, stupid? What are we, 8? It's ridiculous. But then the other one was, and then there's reasons why he didn't do other ones like ghost hunting or what's it called? Ghost hunting, Bigfoot or dowsing, right? Dowsing rods, dowsing. But he said like the other one was pyramid power, which is basically you got a dull razor blade, one side razor blade, dull. You put it on under a pyramid, and it'll get it sharp. Or you get a sharp razor blade, and it'll keep it sharp. It won't ever go dull. He's like, that's so stupid. It's so out of the realm of reality. It makes no sense. But oh dang. But he said there's also the like myth, like the ones where it's like you can't prove a negative, so you can't prove that what's it called? You just can't prove Bigfoot doesn't exist. Right? You can't prove, dowsing rods are hooey. You can't prove there's no ghosts don't exist. You can't prove aliens aren't real. All you can do is have these anecdotal evidence of people going, oh, I saw something in the woods, or it's why ghost hunting shows and Bigfoot hunting shows, finding shows, Bigfoot searching for Bigfoot shows, all still exist to this day because like you can't prove a negative. So just because you can't prove it doesn't exist doesn't mean it doesn't exist. You just can't prove a negative. Like you're not trying to prove you're innocent. You're trying to prove that they are guilty, or they're trying to prove you're guilty. Basically. in a court, right? You're not trying to prove you're innocent. You're just trying to show, because you cannot prove that you didn't do something. You can only prove that it's been done. You have evidence that you weren't there. You have evidence for this, that, and the other thing, but you can't prove that you didn't do something. You can only prove. They can only prove you did it. Evidence to show that you did it. So you can't prove a negative. So the problem with that is you can't prove a negative. For a lot of people, that's like, well, yeah. You know? So that's the thing, right? In my opinion, I liked Pyramid Power for whatever reason. I don't know. I thought it was kind of like weird and whatever at the time. Also, I watched every Mythbusters, so I didn't really care. But like, I would have watched every Mythbusters anyway. So what's the difference, right? Right? So I was just like, whatever, right? Nice. I was like, whatever. Some were like, okay, yeah, sure. You know, do pretty girls fart? Okay, that's a stupid one because, like, of course they do. What are we, 8? Of course they do. The other one that, because unlike something like, you know, bigger boobs, more tips. Do bigger boobs equal more tips, right? It's like, well, yes, that's a quantifiable thing you can actually test. Do pretty girls fart? It's like, of course pretty girls fart. Girls fart. What are you, an idiot? Girls fart. Of course they do. Of course pretty girls fart. What are you, stupid? Of course girls fart. You know? Why wouldn't they fart? Right? Yeah. So, there's a lot of those, like, I don't really care. Woo-woo. They're either stupid or woo-woo. How does it work? Woo. And then you can't prove a negative thing. The whole you can't prove a negative. So you can't prove that Bigfoot doesn't exist. You can't prove ghosts aren't real. You can't prove there are no aliens. You can only you can't disprove it. You can't say it doesn't exist. You can only prove it's real. So because of that, you have to go into the whole, like, well, I have to now think about, like, well, how do we prove it? Like, how do we prove it's real? You don't do that. You don't do that. All you do is you prove you can't. So that's the thing. You can have that's not right. You can have here's what we're trying to get at. You can't do that. But you can't say, well, Bigfoot isn't real or ghosts don't exist. And that's kind of like why all those shows still exist. The ghost hunting shows and the finding Bigfoot shows. Because it's like, well, you can't prove it that he doesn't exist. We can just go on forever having these tiny little anecdotal evidential things of, like, ooh, whatever. Of, like, well, hey, yeah, it works. It's like, well, no. First of all, no. No, not at all. Not, not at all, but that's the thing. In my opinion, at least, you're just like, well, can we not, how do you, what? You're going to prove it? No, okay. And then you can have these tiny little things and have it be like, whatever, and just work. So, in my opinion, this is just my opinion. This is just my opinion. They're great shows to watch, but they're so stupid because, like, well, yeah, they're not real. But yeah, but it's the problem where it's like, well, yeah, well, look, you can't prove it doesn't exist, therefore we can just go on forever having these tiny little things of tiny little evidence of, like, oh, we found something. Oh, we got it. Oh, wait. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. It was planted there, or it was whatever, you know? I'm not saying it's good or bad. What I'm saying is just kind of like, oh, fine, look. I don't care at this point. Who cares? Who cares, right? As in, who gives a flying fatootie? Not that maybe one day we won't find these things. Ghosts, aliens, Bigfoots, Loch Ness Monsters, any of those things. I'm just saying, like, at this present moment, we cannot prove they exist. We cannot prove they don't, or we cannot prove they exist. So, whatever. Look, I don't care. I'm just saying, like, and I loved Mythbusters as a kid. I just thought it was such a good show. Like, it worked really well. It had a scientific method, and it was just kind of like, yeah, it's great. It knew what it was, it knew what it wanted to be, and it was just great. Where it was like, and then they did like one or two of these like terrible myths that they were just like, come on, why did we do it? Because the question basically was, I know you had a bunch of myths that you wanted to do but couldn't for whatever reason. Were there myths that you did that you wish you didn't? And so it's, yeah, one of them was just yes. Pyramid power, do pretty girls fart, stuff like that. Where it's like, really? How are we supposed to prove that? How the F are we supposed to A, prove that, and B, what are we supposed to explain to the people? How does it work? Why does it work? Like, shut up. That's not an answer. Go frig yourself. That's the problem, right? The problem I'm having is, well, yeah, but how do you, like, or his problem was like, no, that's stupid. Same as dowsing, like, sure, you may have been able to find it, but how do we know that? How do we prove that? How do we say that? How do we do that? How? Just how, right? And I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying, like, how? So yeah, like, how do we prove that? Right? How do you prove that, right? How do you prove that? You don't. You can't. There's no way of doing so. You just can't. You just can't. There's no way of proving that. Like, you can't? No. So yeah. I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying, like, and Mythbusters was a great show. I loved that show. I love that show, but there were a few ones that, like, you think back to now. You know, it's like, okay, yeah, whatever. Right? Like, yeah, whatever. It don't matter, kind of thing. Like, yeah, whatever. So yeah, I don't care. I'm just saying, like, you know, it's like, wow, okay, yeah. He did a really good job of being. He sparked a lot of imagination, curiosity, all the stuff, all the things people want, blah blah, yeah. It's great. Everybody loved it. What I'm saying is, it's very much a thing where it's like, well, I know, yes, I don't really care. As in, just like, oh yeah, it was great stuff. I don't know. For me, I loved it. I don't know. I thought it was cool. I thought it was a very cool show. Very good show. You know, it pulled up. So yeah, I thought it was great. Did I think it was the best show ever? No, of course not. But I loved it with a passion. I thought it was such a good show. It really pulled out all the, like, stops to be a great show. When it ended, I was like so sad. Also, when it ended with when it ended, when Cary Grant and Tori stopped being there, I'm like, no, Tori Grant, Cary, whatever, Cary Grant, Tori Grant, Cary Grant. I was like, no, why? You know why? It's like, well, because you know why? Because nobody cared. Because they didn't like him and they didn't want him and they whatever. I don't know. No. You know, it's like, okay, well. Hey, what are we gonna do about it, right? I don't know. My opinion is whatever. But yeah, like, it's great. And so I love that show. I didn't like the last season too much, but the show was great. I loved it. Up until last season, I watched almost every episode. There's like a few episodes here and there I'm like I didn't watch because like they weren't ever on Discovery Channel. Like they weren't ever on TV. So like what are you gonna do? You know, what am I supposed to do about it? Right? What I'm saying, you know, I watched all the ones that I could find. All the ones everyone knows about anyway. Like all the popular ones. But yeah. And so yeah, that's about that. And what were they gonna say? Yeah. So I asked on a subreddit. No, well, first I found a guy who's gonna pay. You know, he's charging me not too much for a website because I wanted to go with Wix, and then I realized well, it's gonna cost me a lot of money, and I'm gonna have to pay monthly fees, and I don't want to. Although my friend, she has one, and I'm like a website on Wix, and I'm like, oh, you like Wix? She's like, love it. I'm like, okay, good for you. What I'm saying is, what I don't want to do is pay for like I wanted to buy the domain outright and then just have it and be like, okay, well here you go. I just have it, and then I make it myself on like a what do you call it? WordPress or something, right? My problem was I didn't know how to do WordPress, but I found a guy who would not pay. Isn't charging too much. So for me, I was like, okay, great. So there's that. So he's making me a website. Then I asked on a subreddit, on the website hosting subreddit, how do I host it for free? Right? They're basically like, you don't. Please don't host it on your own website for free. That's a bad idea. You're getting everything from, because I'm getting everything from, do it. It's amazing. It's not that hard to do it, but it'll be hard. There's a learning curve. To don't ever maybe you shouldn't do it. You might go against your ISP's terms of service. You might actually get your ISP. You might get actually like your service. Get whatever from your ISP, and I'm like, okay, your ISP might, what's the word? It might, stop your service. I'm like, oh wow, I'll give you the internet basically. I'm like, wow, okay, that's not good. It's like, no. And then other people are just like, don't ever do it ever. It's the worst thing ever. You're going to get hacked. Everything on the network's going to get hacked. Your whole network's you're going to have your internet taken away, and they're going to take away your internet. You're going to get hacked. It's going to be bad. I'm like, oh, okay. And then other people are like, why are you not using like a cheap hosting service? I don't want to pay for hosting. But what am I going to do? I'm going to go with someone like Linode, I think, because I've heard about it from people like Ken from Computer Clan. So I'm like, okay, you know what? Look, I'll go with Linode. If it's $5 a month, $10 a month, what the heck? Why not? I'll do it. Why not? Because, like, maybe... How much did the guy charge me again? Let's see. The guy was going to charge me for hosting how much? Let's check. I'm just going to look it up. Let's go back to, like, right, maybe the first one. Okay, first one and the second one. Okay, good. That's that one. Next one is what? Okay, cool. Let's go. So here you go. Let's immediately ask him because I'm emailing the guy. So yeah, it looks like he's a guy because he's the only guy who's told me what he would actually do before he's actually done that. Which is like everybody else has been like, it'll be this much. Yeah, that much. How much you want to charge? How much is how much? I'm like, no, give me exactly what I want, which is give me the actual amount. Tell me what you'll give me for this price. Not, well, how much you charge? No, not like, oh, it doesn't work that way. Blah, blah, blah. Shut up. That's stupid. It's dumb. So yeah, I don't know. I just think it's dumb because I've asked a bunch of people and they're like, and also a bunch of people think, well, for $200 you're gonna get nothing. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? You're gonna get nothing. It's gonna be $2,000. I'm like, no way. I'm not paying $2,000 for this. You out of your mind? You out of your gosh darn mind? Hell no. Although I might get a very limited website, and then the next would be like more. Like there'd be more to it. Like, oh. Sorry. Sorry. I'm looking at the. I was looking at the names of the songs on the Jackson 5. The best of? Yeah. So yeah. Greatest hits or best of, whatever. Yeah. So yeah. I'm not paying $2,000, sorry. I'm going to have to pay for, what's it called? Probably going to have to pay for, something like Linode. So I was like, okay, fine. You know what? I'll do that. Because look, I don't care. Although maybe he'll charge me just the same, and I'll go with him and see how he hosts. Although I don't know what he's using, so maybe I wouldn't go with hosting with him. But I don't know. In my opinion, just my opinion, I feel like I don't. I'm looking at this picture right now. I'm like, I wasn't wearing my tie in that picture. Why my wooden bow tie? What the heck was I doing? My life, anyway. But yeah, so that's what I've been doing right now. I know I got to learn how to use how to make 360 virtual tours. Like I know the concept, but I keep having to refer back to a video, so YouTube video. But yeah, I'll make a new one and then send the WebGL file to the guy and be like, here you go. And send it over and be like, he's like, probably sounds about right. Sounds like it would work. I'm just telling you right now that I'm just asking, like, well, what's the file? Because if you send me the file over, I'll, whatever. So. Because I got a WebGL file, which is like basically a website. And I'm like, that's not what I want. I want, like, the file. The file I can send to the guy. Anyway. So, yeah. I'm not saying. I don't know what. I use that way too much. I say that all the time. I realize I'm not saying is something I say all the time. Look. Anyway, so yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to do a website basically. If you know a good way to do a website for cheap, if not free, let me know. Because I'd like to know that. Because that sounds like something I would actually want to. Or it sounds like something I could do. Well, it depends. Because some people are like, don't ever. Some people are like, sure, you can do it 100%. Here's how you do it. Some are like, do it, but there's a steep learning curve, so maybe you want to watch it. Maybe use like a Linux, and do this and do that. I'm like, well, you know what? Fine. Fine. And so I'm like, yeah, whatever. I'm just kind of like, okay, sure. So yeah, I'm just saying like, that's what I wanted. Like, I'm trying to figure out how to do it for super cheap or free. I want one size fits all solutions of paying once, but no. I want a solution that I pay once, but no. Of course not. Right? Of course not. That would just make sense. Climb with Linus. I'll pay for something if I need to pay for something. But don't make me pay for something if I do not need to pay. Like, if there's a free way to do it. Don't make me pay for a subscription service. Though. I'll pay for something. I'm fine to pay for it. But I don't know how to. Or I don't want to pay for. I don't want to have to pay for a what's it called service? A monthly subscription fee. I hate them. I was telling my friend she uses Adobe Premiere for her video because she does video editing. That's what she does for a living. She makes she edits videos. And I was like, I hate subscription services with a passion, so I don't touch any of it. And it's just like I use Adobe DaVinci Resolve's free version. I'll pay the $300 one day. I will pay the $300 one day. It's just that there's a free version that gives you 99% of the function. Maybe not 99. Maybe like 75% of the functionality. Like at least 50%. I don't know. I'm just saying. Like, and so for me, I'm like, I'm fine with that. I'm good. I don't need things. I'll actually be able to do almost everything I want there for free. So, almost for free. And I'm like, it's great. I mean, she does it because it's the guy, like Linus said in one of his videos he made while in quarantine, right? Which was kind of like, can we do it for cheap if not free? Can we make videos for cheap if not free? And it was like, yes, you can. The only problem there is you're not gonna be the standard. You're not gonna have standards, right? Because if the standard in like the freelance videographer space is is Adobe with everything, Adobe Premiere, Adobe After Effects, and Photoshop and all that. Well, yeah, go with that. Just do what's the standards that no, and everybody doesn't have to get all confused. Oh, you have the weird file type, because blah 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 blah, and it's also stupid and blah 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 and blah blah. Frig off, frig off. I don't want to deal with it, so I'm not doing it. So because I'm doing it for not for free, but like because I'm doing it, I want it done for free, and I'm doing it by myself, and I want it for free. It's not hard for me. It's not hard for me to do it all. Not at all. It's not hard for me to do it all. I want it for free, and I'll do it for free. My editor uses... I have an editor. My editor just... Okay, cool. What was I going to say? So, yeah. So, because I do that, right? Because I do it for free, and I do it... I want it for free, but I do it for myself. Like, because I do it for myself, I can do it for free, and I can use whatever. My editor uses, what do you call it? My editor uses, what's the one called? My editor uses, Sony Vegas, the new Sony Vegas. And I'm like, I heard it's bad, but hey, whatever. You can do whatever you want. And he doesn't do a very good job, or the greatest job. I found it. Title Legends, nice. I played it on here once before, so. Yeah, so, for me at least, this is just my opinion. I don't care. I don't want to pay for subscriptions if I don't have to. The stupidest thing I had ever heard, ever, for those subscription-based anythings was Linus was trying to install these smart light switches into his house, and he gets to trying to figure out how to install it into his hub, right? His open source hub, right? He's like, okay, whatever, blah blah blah, yada yada, this that and the other thing. He gets onto the phone, or he learns that the two things are out of sync in what's it called? Out of sync in or out of they're not on the same firmware. So I'm like, okay. He's like, okay, so I'll look them up. You can't find the firmware anywhere. So he calls them, and they basically tell him, no, you can't have the firmware. You have to go through a hub. So he's like, you go buy Samsung Hub and do it. It's like, no, that's stupid. Because he's like, no, proprietary whatevers, and you can't have the code because it'll screw everything, and someone could hack a seal it and sell proprietary. I'm like, he's like, no, that's the effing stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. You're all idiots. So you have the code, you just will not give me the code. You make the code. Yes. You make the firmware. I'm sorry, the firmware. Yes. But you will not give me the firmware. No. I have to go with some other person to get the firmware. Some other way to get the firmware. Yes. And he basically went, well, F you. Thanks for nothing. Goodbye. And it wasn't her fault, the person on the phone's fault. But it was the company's fault for saying, no, give me the gosh darn flipping firmware now. And then you learned, oh, it's not that, and you only update through the... He's like, no, this is stupid. And he spent, what, $10,000 or thousands of dollars on these light switches, and they don't work. And he has to return them, and he doesn't want them, and they're bad, and they're terrible. So it's like, oh my god! I'm like, you gotta go screw off. Absolutely screw off. Yay! I just installed Title Legends 2. Amazing. Now, if I recommend any game on a PC or any game you can find, if get it on PS2 or something, get Title Legends 2 because, man, is it a good game. I might stream this. Keyboard, yes? What are they? On the left, right, space. Okay, up, down, left, right, space. Space. So it's up, down, left, right is up, down, left, right, and Z is 6 right. Okay. So yeah. Oh, wait a sec. I didn't realize. What's the actual insert a coin? Oh, F3. Okay, F3. I started a game is F1. Oh, he's dead. So yeah, sorry. I was like playing a game here, sorry. So yeah. That's a good game I recommend for anybody. Alright, let's get out of here. Let's exit. I might stream this today or someday. I will probably stream some of this thing. It's going to be in my. But then again, I don't really care for anything else. So yeah, that's it. It's good. I'm good. So for now, I'm good. Yeah. So what were they just talking about? I don't remember. But yeah, Title Legends and all that stuff and whatnot. Oh yeah. So yeah, websites and stuff. I don't know. But yeah. So yeah, I have a question. Right. I have a like legitimate question. How do you get people to want to do things that you set up? So I'm trying to set up a bunch of like events to do. 'Cause I'm looking at this picture right here, which is all young adults, right? My previous church young adults, right? And I'm like, okay, great. I know everybody in this picture now, and I'm looking at it and I'm going, how do I convince these people that they to go and do things with me? I'm trying to set up events, right? Me and my friends are trying to set up events, and we're just like baffled as to why nobody wants to do anything with like. Yes, I can look at the people in this picture and go, yes, 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 yes. Okay, there's like 4 or 5 people, but like out of the 15 or so people that go to it regularly, they're just not, they don't want to do anything. Like, I'm just baffled as like, why did, we went to I told you, we went to a downtown, we went to a Easter party on Monday. Okay? How did you get everybody to go to Timbuktu? That's Timbuktu for us, because that's on the other side of the city. We went to a freaking, which was like, I don't know, 45 minutes away. Half hour away. Half hour minutes, whatever. Far from, for a lot of people. But then how did you get to go to the retreat, which was 2 hours away? How did we go doing this or doing that? How did we go to climb a mountain? How did we go skiing? How did we do all these things with other people? It's weird. My dad used the word grab handing, which means like you're basically kissing ass. You're kissing ass. You're kissing ass and saying you're making people like want to do anything with you. Let me kiss your ass so you do everything for me and like me, which is fair. And my dad said, you don't do that. But I go, neither did she. Yeah, well, I don't know. She's a female. She's better. She convinced people. I don't know. In my opinion. I'm thinking like, well, she's a female. People like her. We haven't seen her in a year. All those things. The other person was the leader, so yes. The other guy, he's just very likable. I said to my friend, he's a charming asshole. Yes, that's 100% what he is. He's a charming asshole. And that's the thing. He is. He's a charming asshole. These 2 new girls come in, right? To the night, right? On the first night. They didn't stay, but for the first night of that retreat. And he goes, well, mine's the only name you have to remember. Every other name, yeah, whatever. Mine's the only name you have to remember. And I'm like, legitimately, oh, go frig off. F yourself. Go fug yourself. Get out of here, you son of a bitch. Get out of here. F you. I thought to myself, oh my God. Screw you. But like, how do you convince people to do that? How did he convince people to get 15 people into his backyard? My best friend? How did he do that? I have no idea. What you have to do is you have to get the right person to tell them, we're doing this. Here's what and it's kind of like, instead of saying, do you want to do this? Because that doesn't help, and I get no's all the time. You say, we're doing this. So I've done 2 things now. I've said, we're going to climb Mont Tremblant. Just tell me when. We're going camping. Tell me when. Whatever works for you people. And I've said it, because I made a Instagram group chat. And so for me, I'm like, okay, that'll work, because the Discord is dead, as far as I'm concerned. No. They don't care. Nobody's really answered me. There's a stupid effing little scene with their profile picture. I'm like, Go fuck yourself. Why are you telling me nothing? My friend goes, well, that's the name on the Facebook. I went, oh, so it's not just me. It's like, no, it's the people in the group. Like, okay. So it's not just me. It's like, no, it's not just you. Like, good. God dang it. I thought everyone hated me. He's like, no, don't worry. They don't. There's some people don't particularly like you, I'm sure, but nobody hates you. I'm like, ugh. Dang it, okay? So, like, whatever, right? In my opinion, I feel like I don't get it. Because there are people it's like, okay, fine. Too far, too expensive, too niche, too whatever. Then I go, okay, let's go with the far. Bullshit. That's stupid. We went to his house, his place, and we went to her place, which are both in Timbuktu. His, whatever, downtown, and hers, freaking 2 hours away. So what? So forget that. That's bullshit. Those are bullshit answers. Expensive? Sure. Too expensive? Sure. I can see the too expensive thing being a reason to not go. And then the niche thing, what? Bowling's niche. Going to St. Joseph's Oratory's niche. What did we else do? Movies are niche. Although we didn't choose a very good movie. I made the point to my friend, we did not choose a very good movie. We should not have chose Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Although it's one of my favorite movies. We should have chosen a better movie, in my opinion. Or just a movie that more people would have wanted to watch. But then again, I asked and I polled people and they were like, no, they didn't. They told me nothing. You all can go screw off. All of you. I'm looking at this picture right now and I'm going, all of you can go F yourselves. What the hell is going on? Oh my God, it's so dumb. Anyway, I'm looking at people here and I'm like, okay, certain people can't get to these certain places easily. Not that they couldn't get there. Other people don't care. Other people don't have money. Other people just don't give a hoot. I'm like, okay, I can tell you what's going to happen. Yeah, no, forget it. No. Not really. Maybe. And then you've got, like, certain people, like, because I was thinking to myself, too. I asked my mother, I'm like, could we have a bonfire in my backyard? Because my friend did it. And in here in my city, we're actually allowed wood fires. So we're allowed to have bonfires in our houses or in our backyards rather than over there in Montreal where you're not allowed to have them. So on the island of Montreal, you're not allowed to have wood burning anything. Wood burning stoves, wood burning fireplaces, wood burning fires, wood burning campfires, none of that. Bonfires, none of that. So for me, I was like, okay, let's do it. And my mother was like, I don't know, got to think about that. My dad was like, go for it. My mother was like, okay, well, let's not jump the gun here. Let's not count our legs before they're hatched. Let's not, right? Let's not jump the gun here. Let's not, go too fast here. But my point was, but then nobody would want to come to Laval. First of all, they wouldn't want to come to my city, Laval. But they also, like, yeah, okay, sure. Some people get there, whatever. It's like, but like, I don't know. Like, how do you get how do you convince people to come and do things? How? Explain that to me, please. Because I'm baffled. Explain that to me, please. Because I don't understand. Please help me understand how to do it. Like figure out. Because look, it's so stupid. Now, look, I'm looking at people here, and I'm also going, some people never show up in my house. Never. In a million years. But there's other people who's like, well, yes. Sure. Some people might. But there's other people who's like, no, never. Never in a million years. Also because they're not in this city, so they're not going to come 2 hours or come 45 minutes or come whatever. But other people, it's like, yeah, no. They might show up. And I can tell you who the people will be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 people. Which is fine. It's just I want the same number of people that my friend got when he did it. He did it and got 15 people. And I'm like, how did you convince those many people to show up to your house? It's like, well, because he's who he is. And people like him. And he's not a whack. A freak. A weirdo. And I'm like, that's what I'm thinking to myself. I'm going, yeah, no, that's right. No, that's 100% correct. No, seriously, that's 100% correct. That's 100% correct. That's 100% correct. So, for me at least, I'm just like, you are so, like, I don't get it. That's fine. Come to my house to do a bonfire at my house for whatever. I can understand they don't want to come there. But all the other events where it's like, hey guys, we're doing events. Let me know what you want to do. And they're just like, or they just go mute, like, and they say nothing. I'm like, go frig yourself. All of you. All of you can go F yourselves. I don't get it. I just don't get it. Is there nothing you want to do? Yet these people all want communities and fellowship, and outside of a Wednesday night we should have fellowship because blah 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 blah. Then do it, stupid. I'm giving you opportunities to make your damn fellowship, and you're doing absolutely nothing to harbor that fellowship. So what the heck? I don't understand. I just don't understand. I'm sorry, I don't understand. I don't get it. Why are we not doing things with each other outside of a Wednesday night? I don't understand it at all. It baffles me. It blows my tiny mind. I'm like, what the freaking heck? I'm like, just shoot, huh? I'm looking at people in this picture going, why are you not telling me when? If you want your to grow in fellowship. Oh, fuck off. Oh my God. It's absolutely the most annoying thing ever. Just ever. Oh my God. Shoot me. Just shoot me. Shoot me now. Just take me out of my misery. Put me out of my misery. Also, community's baloney, but I'm not going to go there. But yeah, fellowship is baloney. But yeah, but you want your fellowship, then do it. Then harbor the damn stuff. It's here. Here are your opportunities. Here's when we're going to do it. Here. Fog, man. I'm looking at people going, none of you, what the, oh my God, I want to kill myself. I want to shoot people. I'm like, no. The heck? I don't understand, but that's just me, and I don't understand why people don't want to harbor said communities. They want the communities that exist to come to them. It's like, well, no, that's not happening. That's not happening. We're not. That's no. There's a give and take. There's work that has to be involved here. I'm like, oh, okay, and they're like, oh, and they don't understand that. They're like, well, can't you know? Blah, blah, blah. No, I'm not doing all the work for you. I'm not setting things up and doing things and having things and making things and doing this. And I'm not doing it. I don't give a god darn fatuity. There are other people who have to help me in this situation. Fog. In these things. I'm not doing it myself. My friend was going to help me, and I had other people help me, and then I had like people, tell me when and whatnot. Here's the problem that I have with it. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. So I'm not doing it all for you, and I don't get why people don't want to do things. I don't understand. Like, it makes no sense to me. I'm completely baffled as to why the heck they don't want to do anything. It's weird. If you could tell me how to get people to go and come to my house or do events that I want to do that are outside of it, please tell me. Although, I'm looking at this picture right now. 90% of the people were male. 95% of the people were male. 99% of the people were male. 95% of the people were male. And it was a female. So maybe that said something about it. Also, the person who was in charge the person who was in charge, who left, who used to run young adults, was a female too. So maybe that helps. I don't know. I'm just saying, well, how did we get him? He's a male. Because he kisses your ass and makes you feel important and, I'll kiss your asshole. I'll kiss your bum so that you like me so that I can get whatever I want out of it. I'm like, yeah, fair enough. Out of you, so yeah, fair enough. And I don't do that. And I'm like, he goes, that's not necessarily a good thing. It's just, I'm just pointing out that that's how he gets people to do things. Or, yeah, well, fair enough. Do I do that? No. No, I don't. Which can bite me in the bum, but I don't want to be that person who people only like me because I'm either funny or I kiss your ass. So, in my opinion, I don't feel like it's the greatest, but I also don't really care. I'm like, look, I don't care. I'm not saying it's good, I'm not saying it's bad. What I'm saying is, it just kind of is what it is. I'm like, okay, fine. You know what? I don't care. I don't care. At this point, I don't care. I don't care. Look, in my opinion, I don't give a flying fatootie. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Look, whatever. So I think it's going to be it for now, guys. I need to go back to where's this thing to see how long I'm going for. Yeah, I think it's going to be it for now, guys. So if you want to get in touch with me, there's the email, tacoimposters@gmail.com. That's tacoimposters@gmail.com. There are the 2 Discords. And then if you want to support me, there's the Patreon, patreon.com/wingwong. Both W's are capital. That's patreon.com/wingwong. Both W's are capital. There's the music, if you want to stream it or if you want to buy it. And then there's the my Etsy shop. So I think it's going to be it for now, guys. So adios, mi amigos. Goodbye and God bless.